Now, there we go.
Yes.
Hello, Ben. I'm sorry, I had a little problem here, technical problem.
No problem.
That's the life, right? So,
Yes.
welcome to our Tuesday talk, and thank you so much for accepting being a guest today. And maybe we can just start by you introducing yourself.
Yes, hello. Shalom, actually. Guten Abend. I'm Ben Gershon. I'm the author of Jewy Louis. It's the comic strip in the Jüdische Allgemeine, the best Jewish newspaper in Germany. You can find it here after you go through all the news. You can go to the back page, and there is then the comic every week. And also in the Swiss magazine Tachlis, is the Jewish weekly over there. And so I think in Jüdische Allgemeine, I think I made the comic for since 2012, if I'm correct. And yes, it's weekly episodes of like 3 or 4 panels, and with all the time a little joke. All Jewish, like it has to be a bit on the current affairs and with a kind of Jewish twist.
Okay, so we just got a comment here from MiQua Day Deutschland. So hi to our colleagues, and they are saying must read. I can only agree. Everyone here from the MiQua is a big fan of Jewy Louis, and maybe you can go a bit more into detail. So who is Jewy Louis, and what's his life about? Maybe what is the comics a bit more in detail about?
Yeah, the comic Jewy Louis actually, he looks like a really Orthodox Jew here on the. This guy is Jewy Louis. This is the book that I published about him. Yeah, he looks really Orthodox with kippah and the bayot, and you see like the rabbis and like the typical Jewish mother. And so he looks really Orthodox, also wears the prayer shawls, the talit. But on the other hand, he is really in the Orthodox world, but on the other hand, he encounters like normal daily life. So right now, the European Championship, Jewy Louis will be cheering for a German team. And yeah, all these kind of things. I actually want to make like yeah, Jews are already so long, already 1700 years in Germany, and so they're like part of society. And yeah, although people might think like, oh, Jews, beardy people with their black clothes, but there are plenty of Jews who are not that Orthodox, or like who really participate in normal life. And I think we have seen that also with the Tuesday talks that you had to show like the vivid Jewish life in Germany these days. And yeah, what Jewy Louis does, yeah, he's a bit, he is looking for a girlfriend, so he's dating. Yeah, what else? So like actually he encounters things that also non-Jewish people will encounter or do, but then yes, he with a little Jewish twist.
So for example, maybe his mom is gonna ask him, or maybe also his parents, when are you gonna give us grandchildren? And that's the joke that always comes up.
I had this Mother's Day joke for Jewy Louis, and it was yeah, he's like, what to give to your mother, and I think many people in general are always struggling with that. Well, you can always come on with your flowers or your perfume, but yeah, the rabbi gives his advice: just give the grandchildren. And I don't think it's actually only Jewish mothers who want that, but.
No, I definitely not know exactly. But that's the twist, right? So you make a bit of a you make fun of, well, or in Jewy Louis, you make fun of everyone, of Orthodox rabbis, of the Jewish mom you were talking about, but also of Gentiles, so of non-Jewish people, and it's actually really, I can just remember what MiQua Deutschland says. It's a must-read, and there's a fun comic.
Like MiQua, it's a really nice event that's organized every year, and it's every year a challenge to make some kind of joke around Jewy Louis to encourage people also to participate in that event. And Jewy Louis is always very active with that.
Really good. Okay, so maybe you can tell us a bit more where you get your inspiration for your comics. Is that from everyday life or things that you hear about? Yeah, where do you get your inspiration for the comics?
Yeah, it's actually mainly what I try to do. It's going on current affairs. So every week I ask my editor, who also does the German translations, because I'm from the Netherlands, and so I have to ask like what's going on in Germany, and I try to read German newspapers online. My editor makes also the translations. So yeah, I look what's going on in Germany. Like last year with the Corona things, I made in the end like this little book, Kosher Corona Comics. Yeah, and it's just yeah, I take a subject like everyone was like blaming on a certain moment China, like Trump was like it's the China virus, and everyone's like yeah, it's caused by bats, and yeah, then I make like jokes of like yeah, Jews are for thousands of years blamed for everything that goes wrong in the world, but now finally it's the bats and China who has the problem. So
yeah, well,
I made this little joke of the bat.
Yeah, because that comic I don't know yet, so
yeah,
you can
this bat says like something. Now I really understand how it feels to be blamed for everything that goes wrong in the world.
Good one, yeah, definitely. Okay,
so but it's basically what's actually every week is the challenge to come up with actually like a general subject in everyday life, and just to find like a kind of Jewish twist with it, or see it from a Jewish perspective. I do remember like my it was not my very first joke, but like the one that I really made for when I really started this series. That's this joke.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if people that goes from this. Hope people can read it.
I can show it too, so you can talk about it if you want.
But it's I was like as a little kid in the synagogue for some kind of celebration. Jews like to celebrate everything, and then you see these prayer shawls with these black and white lines, and I was like, oh, that's a barcode. And I remember that I had this thought as a kid, and I turned that into a comic in the end. So you see like all kinds of observations can turn into a comic. So beware when you meet me, because before you know
there's a joke made of me. Okay, but it's interesting to know that you even remember memories of your childhood and then turn them into a comic. I think that's super very impressive to you, and then just cross into your mind, and then yeah, cool. So if I look at the reactions of our team, I told you already, we're all big fans of Jewy Louis. Most of the comics obviously make us laugh, but with some it makes us pensive and thoughtful. So I'd like to ask you if you get a lot of reactions from your readers. I don't know if they reach out to you, maybe by mail or something. It would be interesting to know how people react to your comics.
Yeah, well, it's really funny, like that you get like reactions from both people who are Jewish and non-Jewish, Orthodox, completely liberal. Um, you get reaction that people say like, yeah, these jokes are way too orthodox because they just see like the characters with the rabbi and they say like it's too orthodox, and then you let them read it and then they're like, oh no, actually it makes kind of fun, and you just use the characters, but it's a joke about things that everyone kind of encounters. Um, so you get these reactions. Yeah, sometimes, of course, I go into like more detailed subjects about Jewish holidays or other Jewish symbols or things. And yeah, of course, I'm making this comic already very long, so on a certain moment you have to get somewhere a joke from. But yes, for instance, what we did for the book here, we made in the end a little glossary, so people can look at what certain holidays or words actually mean and what they refer to. So yeah, it's never good to really explain a joke, but it is good to give people something to make it understandable. But yeah, luckily most of the reactions are good, and it's also nice that like now with Instagram and Facebook, you can be more in contact with readers. So you see that people share your posts or these kinds of things. What's like really funny is you get, for instance, on Facebook, if you have a page, you get the statistics. And for some reason, I don't know why, but on Shabbat, it's the most popular day that people go and look on Facebook, which is not allowed according to the rabbi. But
but that's interesting to know. So maybe they just do it to relax and to have a laugh, right? So
yeah.
that's
on a
not
certain moment. On a certain moment, I made this joke that I made a image of a very angry rabbi, and it was then posted on Shabbat and says, "You're on Facebook, go to the synagogue."
Oh man. You're still free to do whatever you want to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think you made it quite clear that you really like the adventure of Jewy Louis and with the barcode or with the talit,
Yes.
so the prayer shawl. But maybe you have another one or one specific adventure or moment in Jewy Louis comics that you like very much and would like to share with us.
Well, another joke comes also from real life. Of course, Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah. It's every year in September or October. Depends a bit on the calendar. This year it's also very early in September. And yeah, you get the Jewish people on the streets wishing each other Happy New Year. You get people on social media that are posting on each other's timeline from Happy New Year, and you see like non-Jewish people like, New Year in September. What's that for? Something ridiculous. So I made also a little joke about that. Let me see if I can.
I have it here, so if you'd like.
Yeah. It's of the rabbi like cheering in the streets, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, and then he sees like the police officer, and then he wishes the policeman really Happy New Year. The policeman is completely puzzled, and in the end, the rabbi is into a mental health clinic, taken and brought to his friend Napoleon. And the policeman says yes, and he thinks he lives in the year 5000 something.
Poor rabbi. I mean, he's totally right. So.
Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. New Year, September, and then also like the year 5000, and actually Jews, they look the same now as that they looked 1700 years ago in Germany, in the traditional outfit. So.
Yeah, this sums it up quite well, or adds with the the little problem that he encounters, right?
Yeah.
The one I really like is actually also on the walls of one of our exhibition cubes. It's
Yes.
the one with the rabbi and actually the very first one in that comic, and so I can show it as well. And they're both sitting on a table and with two glasses, and the one is well, Jewy Louis is asking, well, Rabbi, what do you think? Are these glasses half full or half empty? And the rabbi just goes, well, I think they should just be refilled. And then they toast and they say l'chaim. I think that's a really great one, and it's a very good example also for the humor of Jewy Louis, and also for could be everyone. So I really like that one.
Thank you. No, it's really nice. I've seen, unfortunately, I've not been able with all the corona to visit the exhibition, but for what I've seen, it's really cool with the cubes that you made, and I hope that now the restrictions go down, that many people can come and see the whole exhibition that you created.
Yeah, we hope so too. Thank you.
Yeah.
But if you come, let us know so we can maybe give you a little tour. Even that's a bit complicated because of Corona again, because normally there's only one person allowed inside. But if we get tested, and we can surely make that out. That would be great.
Because the exhibition is now in Münster, and then the next stop will be
Cologne.
Yay!
Yeah, so you're very welcome to come, and of course everyone who's watching, come visit our exhibition. But back to you now. You also go to schools, you work with pupils, so maybe for the teachers here listening or watching afterwards, this could be interesting for you, for some programs. Maybe you can just describe a little bit what you do, what you offer in your workshops, and yeah.
Yes, I made with the Centraalraad der Joden, I made an exhibition 2 years ago, 1 year ago, and was traveling around Germany. And the idea was also to, apart from the exhibition, also to give workshops about how to make comics. And what I basically do is I show how people can create a cartoon character. Maybe you can show it if it works on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Let me see.
Oh, cool.
Yes, it works.
Live teaching.
So, like for instance, I show that you just with simple shapes, like everyone can draw a circle, everyone can draw a triangle. Well, let's add 2 more circles, something like a circle. From this position, it's quite hard to draw, but I do my best. But before you know the circle and the triangle,
You're getting some hearts here, Ben, so this is really cool.
So before you know, you have a rabbi.
Just like that.
It's like kind of the same. Like it starts with you have a bean. You put 2 circles. You use the shape of the bean to put his kippah.
The Insta Jews are commenting, that's cool. Yeah, exactly, Franziska. It's a live tutorial, and I am a really bad drawer, so I can definitely learn something.
But I will put this away. I'm back again. But yeah, I show that you actually can use like all kinds of simple shapes to create your own characters, and also to put like the discussion about like stereotypes, because actually as a comic artist you have only like these few lines to communicate something and to tell a story. So actually quickly you go into stereotypes, and yeah, then if you relate that, for instance, to anti-Semitism, where there are also all kinds of stereotypes, you get a bit the discussion going, like how do you draw a, for instance, a baker? People will make a very fat, big baker because he's eating all the time cake, but yeah, it can be just a stereotype that you have, and it can feel bakers really, really bad and offended, and all these kind of things. So yeah, so between the teaching how to draw and to how to tell a joke, or how to put things into your little square box of your comic panel, you can yeah, play around and talk with the people and the kids. And actually I've given now the classes for really young kids, well, not really young, but like 12 to 14, older kids from 17, 18, like the end of high school, and also adults. So and it's like really funny to see the reactions, and also like the crazy ideas people come up with. And I had this girl, and she was making a very funny character based on, like, she drew an ice cream with like a triangle and two how do you call it, ice scoops, and she made the vanilla and the chocolate talking to each other, and it was like really funny what they did. So I also like, I just go around, I draw on every paper like a shape, and the pupils have to just create out of that random shape a character, so you can really play around with that.
Well, I think that's a really great idea, because well, I'm going to repeat myself, but I'm a really bad drawer, so that should be really helpful for even like people like me. So, but if teachers are listening, or maybe if my former teachers are listening, I think that's a great idea. I would have loved to do that. I'm sure it's really fun, and also to learn how to also maybe deal with such subjects, and to make a comic out of it, right? And I think I can say thank you from our followers here who are watching us today, because we got a lot of comments. So we got a comment, just great. We just got a comment also, nice. You make it look so easy, and that's exactly my point.
Yeah, but in the end, everyone can draw, and if you go to a comic book store, and I think everyone should, to help the comic book stores after all the closing in Corona. And if you look at the variety, you can have really realistic comics to more like really simple things, but it's just like how to tell a story, and that can even with really simple things, and like using the combination of images and text, and
yeah, really, really cool. So again, I can just encourage everyone to book a workshop with you. I'm sure it's a lot of fun. So I would like to open the question round. If anyone wants to ask Ben Gershon a question, go ahead. You can use the chat, but you can also, of course, use what we call not forbidden, but the hidden questions. So if anyone has a question for Ben, go ahead. People are sometimes a little shy, so or maybe we also just reply to all of your questions, right? So do you have something that you'd like to add, that you'd like to say to
yeah, well, currently well, I still want to see the whole exhibition that you created, but I also participated in a book. I think it's on the background. This one.
Ah, yeah, you also worked on that one. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all kinds of very famous cartoonists from Germany have participated in this book on anti-Semitism. They really poked fun at like such a heavy subject. I participated in this one, and there's also now an exhibition has opened in Berlin in the Museum of Communication. So yeah, people can see that now, and it's going to travel also in Germany. And yeah, I'm still busy with projects. I hope that the second book can come out soon. Well, okay, we have like the first book from Ariella Verlag, Menschen. Then we have the Corona comics that I published last year. But yeah, every week new episodes come, and I hope to publish a new book soon. Okay. I have enough material. Jewy Louis went to Israel, for instance, and yeah, to see like these kind of adventures, I think it can be fun.
Okay. We actually have two questions here in the chat. The first one is from Book Comic Art, and he or she is asking, how is the Jewish life in the Netherlands? And if you sketch something according to that too. I don't know if he's asking or he or she's asking you to sketch right now, but like you just did, but just in general, what would you sketch if you have to sketch a Jewish life in the Netherlands?
Jewish life in the Netherlands. I think it's kind of similar as German life, although I see that in Germany way more things are organized and there's more active Jewish life, and it's also really nice to see the young people involved. For instance, the event like Eurovision. I think you also have a thing, and the Maccabi. So also the Central Council, the Zentralrat, is very active with organizing things, and also what I see with the Jewish schools in Germany. In Frankfurt is a Jewish school. In Berlin, it's really nice that Jewish life it's building up and so vivid in Germany. In Holland, it's a really small community now. Before the war, I think it was 120 or 150,000 Jews, and now the community is 27,000 Jews, so very small. So many people know each other, and these kind of things. Yeah, also here you see like really a rise in anti-Semitism, just like in Germany. And especially in the Corona times, with all the conspiracy theories and everything that you thought like never again, and we have to learn from it. But again, you see the same things that the ideas that people had in the Middle Ages, and that is already like completely debunked. You see it again happening. Also in Holland, unfortunately. Yeah, and yeah. I do wish to have my comic also published in Holland. There it's originally started, but unfortunately that's currently not happening.
Okay.
In that sense, it's like the interesting thing. What you see is mainly when you go to subjects that you see like in Holland, there are really like hypes in the media, hypes on television and things. And when I actually look at the German news, it's very more moderate than you see in Holland, is my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know.
Although I'm reading the wrong newspapers and.
That's what you said. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Snuffle. Is asking, Ben, I saw one of your exhibitions. Do you have more events in the future? And that person is asking another question. I do not have the Corona book. Where can I get it? Oh, but the question was already answered in the comments. I'm just seeing it right now. So maybe you can reply to the first question. So he or she saw one of your exhibitions and is asking if you have more events in the future. And Jüdische Allgemeine is watching us. Hello.
Yeah, it was just deadline time. The newspaper is now being finished. No, yeah, exhibitions, yes. So I hope that when all the Corona things are easier, that also the exhibition that I had with the Zentralraad can go traveling again around Germany, because it was really fun also to indeed with the workshops go to German cities and meet the people. I had in Munich a big event, and it was really nice. There were so many people showing up, and to really interact with the readers, because yeah, as a comic artist, you're just behind your desk. You submit your comic, and yeah, the happy moment is on the Friday when the newspaper arrives in the mail. Well, in my case, then 2 weeks later with the delay, but yeah, you know that people read it. But yeah, and apart from like on the social media, you don't really get reactions. But like when you really go to the events and meet people, that's really nice. That's a nice thing for a comic artist.
Yeah, I can also imagine. Sorry.
And the book, the Corona comics, you can order it on the website of the Zentralraad.
Yeah, and actually, thank you to Book Comic Art, because that person posted the link to it. So if anyone is interested, go ahead and read and laugh.
Thank you for Book Comic Art.
Exactly. Okay. So thank you everyone for watching and also for asking the questions. We also got another comment from Spiggy Sage that in Belgium as well anti-Semitism is rising. Unfortunately, yes, I guess in a lot of countries, not only in Europe, also in the US and well, yeah, unfortunately all around the world. And we can just hope.
I think it's good with these kind of events that people can see like more about Judaism, like with the exhibitions that you do with these live talks. You can see that Jewish people don't have like horns growing on their heads. I hear like stories that people like go to a classroom and say like, I'm a Jew, and then they're like, can I feel if there's a horn on your head? And like all these ridiculous things.
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of work to do, but I hope we're all on a good way. And I think that your books, your comics are a very good way of dealing with it, of talking about this, of talking about Judaism, and of course also of these ridiculous comments that you just made an example of. So thanks to you. And thank you for taking part in our Tuesday Talks. It was a pleasure having you as a guest. And again, I can only repeat myself, if you are in Cologne to watch the exhibition, let us know. Yes. And thank you. Thanks to everyone watching. It was nice to have all these comments and questions.
Yes, and I hope that everyone subscribes. That comes like from the Jewy Louis page, that they subscribe to the Museum MiQua page, and that indeed people are going to visit the exhibition if that's possible again. And ultimately, like the big museum that you have in the background, but it's still under construction.
Yes, we're very excited for it to be finally done, but we still have to be a little patient.
Yeah.
So, like Christiane says, thank you all, Ben, and doei.
Yeah, doei. Thank you.